Welcome to Power Talks. I'm your host, Himanshi Tiwari. Now, global capability centers have quietly moved from the back office to the boardroom, and they're no longer just cutting costs. They are defining strategy, speed, and scale. And today's conversation is about that shift in action. How a GCC becomes a growth engine, how AI moves from slides to real impact, and how trust is protected while ambition rises. I'm joined by Tarun Sareen, Managing Director at Sun Life Global Solutions. He has been at the heart of building SLGS into a core strategic partner for Sun Life globally. And let's get straight into it. Well, Tarun, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. And when we talk about GCC, every serious GCC perhaps has a breaking point, where it stops being a service center only and starts being a value center. So, starting with the first question, what was that turning point for SLGS when it, strengthened its value position for Sun Life?
Yeah, no, thanks for the question, Himanshi. And I think for us, it was really something that was very deliberate. And the center in India has existed for almost 20 years now. And then the work that we do in the Philippines started almost 33 years ago. So in the last 5 years that I've been with the company, we realized that we got to have a more deliberate strategy towards higher value and solutions. So we started with a name change. So name change to Sun Life Global Solutions. And we had a strategy that we put together that we reviewed with the CEO and the executive team of Sun Life. And we held ourselves accountable to be the digital hub, to be a hub of innovation, to be a tech powerhouse. None of these words are very new, but we really were very earnest in terms of our ambition for the company, to do the right thing for the purpose of a company. A company is very purpose-oriented, purpose-powered, and it's all about clients and enabling healthier lives for them and financial security. So towards that, we wanted to keep on upscaling and elevating ourselves. So we put 4 or 5 pillars of a strategy and say we're going to just increase and multiply our value, be more participative in terms of shaping the future. We call it architecting the future. I call it architecting the future as well. And we've been on that path for a while now.
All right. The shift that you're talking about, we live in an AI world. You're talking about digital transformation, you're talking about innovation, and the shift that you just talked about. Once that happens, AI stops being experimental, it starts being operational, right? So, if you can share any of those AI use cases that actually helped you in the entire transformation and the processes that are driving the enterprise.
So they're still helping.
Yeah.
I cannot sit here and tell you and share with you that we are done. I mean, we are probably just getting started. AI ML, I think a lot of maturity. If I think of it at level 2-ish, level 1 is RPA, let's say. Level 2 is AI ML. A lot of use cases around that. But I think from a Gen AI and agentic AI perspective, the journey is just on right now. And we've got to keep on maturing this journey as well as you go forward. A lot of our use cases around internal productivity, knowledge transfer, right? Knowledge bots, and so on and so forth. On the external side, it's about helping advisors get information in minutes versus hours or days, right? So you rolled out those kind of AI-based capabilities as well. There's more to come. There's a lot in terms of agentic AI that we are currently exploring. There are POCs. Just like any other company, you have immense processes that are done manually or with a human extensively in the loop. We think the humans will be required in the loop for those processes as well. But AI and AI-like technologies with their intelligence are going to help this human in the loop increase the productivity as well and increase the efficiency of decision making, claims, for example. So we're experimenting with those use cases as well. Internally, we've launched something called Sun Life Asks or Sun Life Ask. We received an award for that as well. And this is across the company. This is not only the GCC, but GCC included, participating in it. And 96%, almost 96% of our developers, I could be mistaken, maybe it's somewhere 93, 94% of our developers use AI and assisted coding now as well. So I think that's a great move forward. Where I like us to go is continue to look at the power of AI and humans and all of us combined, joined up to better the current processes, better the current experience of our clients, better employee experience, reimagine some of these experiences as well, but also look at are there new solutions that we can put forth in a more speedier fashion with what we have as AI. So just like many other organizations and groups, we are on this journey and we are humble about it as well. We are learning a lot of failures too along the way because we're still learning. Sometimes
Yeah.
AI hallucinates.
Yeah, no, that's true. And
Right.
when we talk about AI, a lot of responsibility comes into the
Yeah.
picture because we know that data is sensitive and trust is fragile for that matter, right? So when we talk about AI, how do you ensure that your customer data remains safe while you are increasing your AI capabilities?
Just like any financial services company, organization, or anybody that does work in financial services, risk and trust are things you cannot let go of, right? Your risk managers, if you're in financial services, um, you are custodians of trust as well. So you can imagine we have enough and more guardrails in terms of every new solution that comes out, whether AI or non-AI. Um, and I would say immense control. And sometimes that slows us down, but I think rightly so. You're better off being slow and doing the right thing so trust never erodes as well. So enough and more guardrails as one Sun Life, as one company for every new solution, but also in general to protect customer data. We also use, as I say, very purpose orientated, and I'm not using those words very lightly at all. We sometimes actively look out for clients who may file a claim who have not filed a claim yet. Natural calamities could be a trigger, could be an example of where we do that. We reach out proactively as well. So I think having the right data, the knowledge of clients, and using it well for the purpose is really what we do. Um, we have a culture that supports, apart from the guardrails, governance, systemic, and others. We have a speak up culture that we keep on advancing. So if you see something, say something and do something, kind of a culture, and that helps us as well to catch errors before they become before they become big as well. In fact, I should have probably alluded to this in my previous answer. AI actually helps us with a lot of work that a human would consider to be toil or drudgery. um, Human errors we are all prone to, but on the hard side of the spectrum, human imagination is what I'm betting on, and human creativity and being able to shape the future or architect the future. I said earlier.
Yeah, that's very interesting point, Tarun. When we talk about the insurance sector, insurance traditionally has been careful, right, or slow by design, right? When it comes to the decision making, so how do you ensure that the decision making, unlike the banking sector, we know how insurance sector goes, that the decision making is also smooth and fast without that much of the risk exposure?
I'll share this with you. We have 5 elements that are well understood across the company about our culture. CABI is the acronym. C is care. So deep care for colleagues, for clients, for communities in which you operate. Sun Life operates in 28 geographies, has 86 million clients. A is for authenticity, authentic, being humble. It's a very humble, down to earth culture. We don't beat, we don't beat the tables and shout from the rooftop about accomplishments. We just want to make sure the clients are getting what they count upon us for. Bold. Now that is something different in an insurance company. We don't hear the culture, boldness as part of the culture. So we do have that because we know that we have to take calculated risks in the interests of doing even a better job for our clients. So that's point number one. The other 2 I's, Kabai, is being inspiring and making an impact, a positive difference for our clients and our communities as well. The point I was trying to make is that we are trying to be always very right-minded about the speed It's not really we want to slow down anything. It's about taking the right steps and not skipping any step that can later lead to regret. So I'm actually having come from a tech industry where things are very fast, and then having worked in a banking, and then coming to insurance, I can see why of what we do, and I respect that, Still, there are ways for us to get speedier for sure. There are certain things you can very speed it on. Agility is a big thrust forward in the company, and that is helping us to speed outcomes. A lot of outcomes we have enabled at GCC, new things that are coming to the company from SLGS that did not exist before. Platform model is one of them. It helps us deliver faster. So you're doing the right things in terms of delivering faster, but not skipping anything that would lead to, erosion of trust, or even a question on trust. I think I
All
would put
right.
it that way. Yeah.
All right. But 5 years ago, Tarun, if we talk about somewhat things that GCCs are doing today was unthinkable, right? We couldn't do that. So, are there any strategic mandates that you are supporting now?
There certainly are, because if I have to put it very simply, I'll go back to what you said earlier. Increasing value is a big one for GCC, becoming value centers or solution centers. I think we're going to take that very seriously. The reason I say that is, whether you're a GCC or you're not, if you're working in a company, think about how you can advance the company beyond your role or within your role, but doing beyond as well. So certainly, I think GCCs that have been here for a while, we need to continue to reimagine the future. And I talked about the strategic pillars we have, leading the future of operations, being a tech and engineering powerhouse, being a hub for innovation. And you've got to challenge yourself on how much innovation have you brought into the company that is helping our clients, helping employees. So we do measure ourselves on that. How much new we have created that adds more value, and value in a measured way, business outcomes, driving the business forward. And that has really been the journey. The journey also is we all one Sun Life. Yes, it's a GCC in the parlance of the industry, or one parlance in the industry, but this is really an insurance and asset management company. And we are fast becoming an asset management company and then insurance company. If you look at our net income, it's mainly an asset management company now. So I think it's a very good, it's a very good amalgamation of asset management and insurance. And because these two are within the same company, it's giving us a culture that is about bold, about risk taking as well. So,
All
yeah.
right, and thank you for sharing those insights, Tarun. But as we are moving towards the end of the conversation, we know that GCCs are now shifting from execution to orchestration, right? So, when we talk about SLGS, what is SLGS doing to sort of drive that impact and value, of course?
the there are many things you're doing, but if I think about the top of the spectrum points, I would say the question we are asking ourselves is, are we defining the future of actuarials for Sun Life? And the answer is yes, we are now. We have a role that does it. Are we defining the future of finance? Are you evolving finance? Yes, we are. Are we co-driving the future of technology and digital experiences? Yes, we are. Right? Are we driving the future? Are we increasing client experience? Yes, we are. So I think that's really the way to look at it. The scorecard that we have in mind is really the same scorecard as the rest of the company, the rest of the enterprise. And our strategy is very much dovetail into the enterprise strategy. So it's all the same company, but at the same time, it is about being more and more and more every single day and every year for sure. So I think that's something that I'm personally feel deeply responsible for. It's less of an ambition, it's more of a deep responsibility, and being significant. We all come to work for 8 to 10 hours, sometimes 16 hours a day, and it's really for me as one of the leaders to make sure this 16 hours are very well spent and are fulfilling as much as possible. Our engagement scores are always in the 90s, the last 5 years in a row, the highest in the industry, I think. Our culture index is among the highest. So it's really thanks to my team and the entire team across Sun Life that's really humming very well together. Yes, we have things we got to do better, for sure. It's not like we don't have issues, we do. But there are just so many things that are going well. It's the best company I've worked in.
All right, that was really insightful, Tarun, and a very good note indeed to end this conversation. And as far as I realized from whatever we have talked about in the past few minutes, minutes is that GCCs like yours, like SLGS, is perhaps not only supporting the business, they are shaping it. Right? Thank you so much for your time, Tarun, and to our viewers. Stay tuned for many, many more such insightful conversations only at ETGCC.